Welcome, everybody, to Panther Stadium here as we have a joint production between LNPanthers.live and CTN, and we have playoff football here today. Logan Anderson here with Bill Hupp, and we'll be bringing you all the action here from Panther Stadium. Lakeville North ranked number 2 in the state at 7-1, their lone loss to Lakeville South. And Coon Rapids 2-6 coming into this game, but some impressive talent and have played some very good teams close throughout the year. And I'm sure that both teams taking this game very seriously. Bill, a couple thoughts today. Lakeville North has a ferocious defense, but Coon Rapids with one of the best individual players in Kaijon Cummings-Coleman. What does he bring to the table, and what does Lakeville North have to do to slow him down?
Well, he's the ultimate playmaker for the Cardinals. He starts at cornerback on defense, he returns kicks, he returns punts, and he's obviously one of the best wide receivers in the state. A surefire first team All-Metro pick. And it's a big game knowing that it could be his last. The Iowa State commit has poured his heart and soul into this program. And for Lakeville North, they'll just have to be aware of where he is. I know that their head coach, Brian Vossen, also thinks very highly of Logan Ogroski and his talents at wide receiver. So the Panthers' backfield defensively is definitely going to have its hands full today. But anytime you're going up against an elusive playmaker like a Kaijon Cummings-Coleman, you really have to be sound in your discipline, sound in your tackling, and fly to the football with multiple tacklers, because he can make 1, 2, 3 guys miss. We've seen some incredibly long touchdown catches where he just gets tons of yards after the catch. So Kaijon Cummings-Coleman, an electric playmaker, and certainly Brian Vossen and the Panthers coaching staff very aware of his talents.
The other aspect that we'll watch for the Panthers defense, they love to blitz early, and often they blitz on just about every play in some sort of fashion. They'll often not have any actual down linemen. They'll all just be in a 2-point stance, and then some people will attack the quarterback. A few will drop into coverage trying to confuse the quarterback. Coach Vossen learned that when he played at Mankato and likes to bring that to the table, and they get after the quarterback. His philosophy is pressure bursts pipes, and we'll see if he has time to get the ball to Kaijon Cummings-Coleman, although he also has been taking handoffs as a running back.
Yeah, ultimately Coon Rapids, Logan, is going to try to get the football in the hands of Kaijon Cummings-Coleman, whether they need to line him up at running back or whether they can get him like the ball on bubble screens and things like that. So the big story for Coon Rapids has been the health of their quarterbacks recently. They got a couple good senior quarterbacks in Jacob Maddock, but it looks like Danny Scheller is fighting an illness. So a lot of health issues at stake for Coon Rapids, and it's a tough assignment coming on the road this cold weather against the number 2 team in state, a very physical team that likes to run the ball at you downhill. We'll see if the Cardinals are up for the challenge here tonight.
Max Moline getting ready to kick this away. They try a squib, don't want to put it in the hands of Cummings-Coleman. Instead, it's Logan Ness with a short return and pretty good field position for Coon Rapids to start this contest.
Yeah, not bad, and I think the Panthers feel confident in their ability to hold Coon Rapids down in terms of limiting their offense, and so they'll trade poor field position starting for their defense in return for limiting the ball in Kaijon Cummings-Coleman's hands.
Jacob Maddock has thrown for almost 1,000 yards, 13 touchdowns, just 2 picks on the year. He's been efficient for the Cardinals. He'll start in the shotgun. They will just hand it off right away. A slippery move to the outside, angling. It's a first down and more. And breaking away, Jeremy Oddie.
So now Jeremy Oddie, Logan, is an interesting cat because he came in at quarterback replacing Jacob Maddock after he was injured in the first series against the Bengals on senior night. So Oddie, just a sophomore, but it's interesting that he appears to be the Scheller replacement, and I think that call on first down kind of surprised the Panthers as he picked up 20 yards.
empty backfield, a cluster, including Cummings Coleman, over to the left. They try to set up that bubble screen. It's thrown too far in front, incomplete.
Not a good pass at all. They had him there. You could hear the Panthers defense, thanks to our terrific crew, calling out, watch the screen. So they knew what was coming, but just a poor pass. And again, you just wonder, Logan, it's not wet out, but it is really cold. Our first real cold night of the season. And so you just wonder how much that's going to affect the passing game of this Coon Rapids team.
Beyond the cold, also very windy. The flag fully out, kind of going a crosswind across the field. North showing blitz. Somebody moved early. We'll see what the call is. Looks like it might be Lakeville North offsides.
Yeah, sometimes.
Dorian Addison.
Yeah, Addison just tried to time that blitz up, but a hard count by Jacob Maddock, and he just couldn't do it. So 5 free yards for the Cardinals, and I'd say they, just a couple plays, but they've had a productive first drive so far.
Maddock in the gun. 3 receivers. He'll give to Adi once more. He again slips his way outside, eventually wrenched down. Up there first was A.J. Pasiga and Max Moline.
Well, I think the Cardinals, Logan, caught the Panthers off guard with that first run from Adi, but that time the Panthers were not fooled, and Adi went for a loss of 1.
Picks up 4. 3rd down, talking with Coach Russin before this game, he said converting 3rd downs was going to be crucial. This could be 4-down territory as well. And it's a delayed handoff to Adi again, and he is just slippery as an eel. He's very close to first down yardage. As Dorian Addison, another tackle from behind, but Jeremy Adi giving Lakeville North some problems early.
Well, Logan, remember, it was 1st and 5 because of that penalty. Then he lost a yard. He gained 6 right there, and enough to move the chains. And he's pretty quick. He's a pretty shifty guy. Look at the way he juked number 45 there for the Panthers as he picked up just enough to move the chains. And again, Coon Rapids, kind of a methodical drive, and maybe they want to run the ball a little bit more than we anticipated because of this cold and windy weather.
Empty backfield once more. And dropping under pressure, he'll let it fly. It's deflected, knocked down by Aiden Forsgren, intended for Lofton Ogroski.
Logan, another factor that may be affecting Coon Rapids' decision to run, they may not feel like they can block this Lakeville North front, especially if they're blitzing as much as they like to do. And that was intended for Ogroski, but a great job by the defensive back there to read the play and get his hands on it. And Maddock, fortunate that it didn't get picked off.
Aiden Forsgren without an interception on the year. Does have 19 tackles. He was on the coverage, 2nd and 10. And looking over to the sideline.
They need to figure out a way to get the ball in the hands of C-squared.
He hasn't touched the ball yet. They'll give it to Adi. He tries to find room. That time he is wrenched down by Pasiga after a short gain. 3rd and long.
Well, what Coon Rapids is doing now is they're running out of that spread formation. So they're spreading you out 4 receivers, 5 receivers, and then just trying to run from that spread formation.
And Adi came up with a limp, which could be particularly a problem with Danny Scheller out. We should mention he's the leading rusher for Coon Rapids on the year with 443 on the yardage tally, 3 touchdowns.
He's a good running back. He's a big physical kid. And definitely his illness affects the Cardinals greatly. As you see Adi there just kind of trying to work it out. And in cold weather, it can be tough when you get an injury like that.
They'll go empty backfield. Cummings Coleman in motion. They throw away from him. It is complete on the outside. And dragging tacklers forward, I think it was Ogroski.
It's actually Jared Fearing. Big Jared Fearing. He's like 6'3", probably 215. And we'll see the injury here to Jacob Adi. It's going to leave the Cardinals at 4th and 1, but here's Adi, and I think he just gets rolled up on. Yeah, you can see his right ankle gets folded underneath. So kind of tough place here, but yeah, 4th and 1, manageable though.
Big 4th down play. Looking for an important conversion here is Coon Rapids. Maddock hands off. It'll be a 1st down. Cam Cummings-Coleman with the carry. Only needed a couple, picked up 3.
Kaijon's brother, I think he's just a sophomore, but he was supposed to be the running back coming into this year. Scheller has kind of taken over, but now Cam getting his chance, and he's just the kind of body you want on 4th and 1. He plowed ahead and got 2.
Cam Cummings-Coleman in the backfield still. Maddock, as the Panthers show blitz, he'll look to the side.
They really like him to do that hard count, trying to drive the Panthers offside.
They bring pressure. First touch by Kaijon Cummings-Coleman. He makes a couple guys miss, and he is very close in for a Coon Rapids touchdown. 19 yards and a strike.
C-squared right there, Logan. That is what Kaijon Cummings-Coleman can do. And I don't think Nick Russin could have drawn up a much better first drive for this Coon Rapids team. As Kaijon Cummings-Coleman, you see here, catches the bubble screen. And then just look at the way he makes guys miss. Sheds a tackle, cuts it back inside. That's a classic C-squared run. He juked a couple guys, and he got to the house. And just doing what he does in his first playoff game of 2023.
Looks like they'll go for 2. After the 19-yard touchdown, whistle blows, flag flies.
Offside on Lakeville North again.
They have gotten the Panthers, who like to blitz, to jump a few times early on the defensive side.
You can barely hear the ref mic, but it was offside on the Panthers. So clearly Coon Rapids has watched tape of this Panthers team and knows that they like to blitz.
I think everybody who has ever seen a Panthers game under Brian Vonson knows that they like to blitz.
Well,
Adi back in the backfield. Good to see that. And Maddock takes the snap. Gives to Adi, who is took down immediately. Braden Owens with the tackle. And it is 6-0. Coon Rapids with the early lead over Lakeville North will take a 30-second timeout and be back right after this. Touchdown reception by Kaijon Cummings-Coleman. We'll show it to you again right here before the kickoff. Just makes several different Panther tacklers miss. And Coon Rapids with the early lead, as they'll try a little pooch kick. It's going to bounce out of bounds, so Lakeville North will get good field position to start things off at the 35. 9-play, 60-yard touchdown drive, and Kaijon Cummings-Coleman came into this game with 1,941 receiving yards as a penalty called. A false start on the kickoff.
Kicking out of bounds is the official call.
Well,
so the ball will be at the 40-yard line, and they'll march it off from there.
But anyway, came into this game needing just 59 to reach 2,000 career receiving yards. And now a little bit closer.
Yeah, and that's, it wasn't the biggest play he's had this year, but that's just exactly what he does, exactly what we talked about. Getting a little bubble screen and then doing the rest himself with his amazing ability to just slip and slide past defenders.
And Lakeville North, more of a blunt force object throughout the year. They first hand off to Sawyer Wilkie, who picks up 3 on first down.
Now, Logan, you watch this Lakeville North team a lot. For the viewers at home in Coon Rapids, who are the running backs? Or is it a three-headed monster for Lakeville North? Do they have one primary ball carrier? How do they like to attack?
You'll see a lot of Sawyer Wilkie, who has over 1,100 yards and 8 touchdowns on the year. You'll also see quite a bit of Sam Ripplinger, who has a little bit more speed to the outside.
Of course, Riley Grossman has been a 2-year starter for Lakeville North, just a junior.
They'll hand off to Wilkie. He follows his blocks, but doesn't find much room, maybe 2 yards. Nice job by Fearing to make the tackle.
Jared Fearing is one of the best athletes in Coon Rapids right now, in Coon Rapids High School right now. And he is big and fast and physical, and he plays that middle linebacker position like he plays his center field position. He just goes and gets it.
3rd and 5 right at midfield. Panthers coming out in a double wing. We've only seen this once or twice throughout the year. Ripplinger the deep back this time, and he finds a little hole, squirts through, picks up 7 and moves the sticks.
That's a big first down for the Panthers. I was just about to say, if Coon Rapids can force a 3 and out, and after that touchdown drive to start, that would be absolutely massive for them. But Ripplinger gets the call and just drives straight through and gets 6 or 7 for the first down.
Aloysius Nippon with the tackle. And the Panthers, they'll have a lot of long, deliberate drives.
Boy, big number 68 is a load there at left tackle, isn't he?
Tate Anderberg, 6'8", 265, actually lost 40 pounds over the summer. As again, they'll hand it off up the gut to Wilkie. Again, just trudges his way forward.
So far, it's been as advertised. Just, between the tackles, 3 yards and 4 yards and a cloud of turf.
Ripplinger actually got that carry. So, Panthers trying to answer after falling behind 6-0 as Grossman comes in with the play.
Now, does Brian Vossen, the head coach of Lakeville North, also call the plays?
He does not. Todd Hammer, the offensive coordinator, calls the plays. Vossen calls the defensive plays.
Okay, defensive coach.
Grossman hands it off. No, play action, has all kinds of time. Fires down to Lane Johnson, just a little bit overthrown. Lane Johnson caught 3 touchdowns last week against Burnsville. Very nearly had another one right there, but just a little overthrow from Grossman.
Well, when you run and run and run, that play fake can have the defense sucked in. And, if Grossman had just put a little bit less on this football, he had him open. He had beaten both guys, including Kai John Cummings-Coleman. And Johnson had gotten behind the defense, but just a little bit overthrown.
3rd and 7, likely 4-down territory for Lakeville North.
Grossman does throw a nice deep ball, though, and he showed that there.
I wonder if the wind having an effect on that. Wilkie the back. And he just bludgeons his way forward for 2, so now it's 4th and 5. And a little bit of a decision for Coach Vossen, Coach Hammer and company.
Not as comfortable as the not as comfortable as you might think in terms of 4th and 5 as much as they'd like.
5 minutes to go here in quarter number 1. Panthers going for it as expected. They'll start in an I. They like to roll Grossman out in these situations, and they'll call a timeout. As they call a timeout, we'll take a timeout. We'll be back here on LNPanthers.live and CTN right after this.
Visit summerphotos.com. Our return for today,
Back here.
Welcome back to Panther Stadium. Grossman under center on 4th and 5. Pitch to the outside. It's Wilkie. I think he's taken down short. A nice job by Lofton Ogroski shooting the gap. And also near it was Price Karen. And a big defensive stop, Bill, for the Cardinals.
Oh, all the momentum right now on the side of the red and black on the far sideline, as that was a huge stop. And you'll see the penetration here. They know it's going to be run. They flow to the football. And a number of players, including Samson LeClaire, knifing in there for the Cardinals to make the stop and earn the turnovers on down.
A chance to potentially go up 2 scores early. For Coon Rapids, Cummings Coleman in motion. They use him as a decoy. Handoff to Adi, tries the edge. Doesn't get much before he's escorted out of play by Braden Owens.
Well, Logan, this is pretty typical for this Coon Rapids team. Now, obviously, Lakeville North is a different kettle of fish, number 2 in the state. But, you think about it, Coon Rapids got up on the road against STMA 21-3 at halftime. So they're fast starting team. It's can they finish? Can they play a full 60-minute game and close? That remains to be seen. A lot of football still to play.
2-yard gain for Adi, 2nd and 8. This time they pitch back to Cummings Coleman, and he puts the ball on the turf, fearing right there to grab it. But it's a loss of yardage, bringing up 3rd down and long.
Braden Owens got his big paw in there and knocked it free. So an excellent job by Owens of coming from behind and stripping C-squared there. But fortunately for the Cardinals, Jared Fearon is right there to fall on.
That will be 3rd down, 12 yards to go.
Now 3rd and 12 coming up after the loss of 4. Let's see, just got a little careless carrying that away from his body.
Like it was a loaf of bread, as the saying goes.
3rd and long. Maddox steps up and is brought down by Cal Schmelsley. Cal Schmelsley, the senior linebacker, that's his first sack of the year.
He's one of the leading tacklers on this Lakeville North team for a reason. And he just kind of sheds his block, and the Coon Rapids receivers can't get open. He did have Cummings Coleman over the middle, but there was no way he was going to see that. And Schmelsley picks a good time for his first sack of the season.
I like to say he plays the angles well. His dad is the Lakeville North physics teacher.
6'2", 200-pounder.
And the punt. It's a high, wobbly one. And nobody signals for a fair catch. They just let it die. And Lakeville North will start with good field position on their 2nd possession of the game.
Yeah, Coon Rapids, obviously a tale of 2 drives, right? The first one was methodical, 3 minutes and 43 seconds, cashed in with a touchdown. That last one just kind of going backwards, so 3 and out. And so Lakeville North now gets an opportunity and a bit of a reprieve. And really, they didn't lose that many yards from where they turned the ball over on downs.
Starting on their own 49.
And I wouldn't be surprised to see them go back to the ground game for a few carries and then try to pop one over the top again, because that was open. Lane Johnson was open if only Grossman could hit him. So you take a look at Logan Ogroski, one of several players, and Logan Ness, one of several Coon Rapids players that play both ways. Lofton Ogroski, I should say. I said Logan. I was looking at Logan Ness and thinking Logan.
Hand off to the fullback, Sawyer Wilkie, who drags a pile of white jerseys for a gain of 4 on 1st down, and some laundry comes out in the process, where you usually either see holding or face mask. I expect probably one of those 2. I guess you never know.
Well, Coon Rapids has a good guy in the middle in 6'2", 260-pound Jacoby Peterson, among others. So they got a pretty stout defensive line.
Blocked below the waist
on the defense.
Just first time I've heard that one.
Yeah, now just as I was complimenting Jacoby Peterson, that's what I believe that's who they called for that infraction. But 15-yarder, and that's something Coon Rapids, if they hope to pull the upset tonight, Logan, they cannot afford to pile up the penalties and turn the ball over. They cannot do those two things.
North now well into Coon Rapids territory. Pitch out to Ripplinger. He looks for the edge. He has it for a positive gain down near the 25, a gain of 7 or 8. Second down and short, a gain of 9. Sam Ripplinger, kind of the lightning to the thunder of Sawyer Wilkie.
Well, this is where Lakeville North is tough, right? When they're second and short, third and short.
Playbook wide open. And they'll play action. All kinds of time again. Nobody really open, and that's picked off by Cummings Coleman. Tried to just drop a dime to Lane Johnson. And Cummings Coleman with his 5th pick of the year.
You cannot do that. You cannot challenge C-squared like that. If you hang the ball up like that, just try to drop it in the bucket. That play has to be a timing play, and if you give him that much time to recover, he's too good of an athlete. He's going to make the play, and that's exactly what he did there.
So, a big play defensively made again. In all kinds of time, but just wasn't open, well covered.
And it was a nice play. It was a nice interception for sure. But he read it all the way, and then it was kind of like a punt.
So now back to the 20-yard line for Jacob Maddock and company. Adi off to the left. There's a quick pass to Cummings Coleman. He trips over the turf monster after a gain of 2 or 3.
He's smashing his helmet with the football, frustrated that he lost his footing. But yeah, it can be slick out there once the temperatures dip low enough. And we apologize if anyone's hearing technical difficulties. We're working on it.
A minute 16 to go here in what has been a pretty rapidly played first quarter. Lakeville North not off to the start they want. Coon Rapids is hoping to pull the rare 7-2 upset. Off to, again, a good start, up 6-0. They forced a turnover. Checking all the boxes early. There's a pass over the middle to Fearing. Probably should have caught it. Took a big hit after it went off his hands by Quinn Power.
He should have caught that, no doubt about it. But there's also something to be said for, it was a lot of heat, but you could just see he took his helmet, he took his eye off the football. He looked down ahead to the safety that was coming. He was expecting Quinn Power to whack him, and so that's all that happened there. I thought maybe that Maddock had put too much heat on it, but that was just Fearing taking his eye off the ball.
Quinn Power, the Metro Player of the Year in lacrosse last year. Dual sport athlete making a big hit. 3rd and long. Empty backfield. Cummings Coleman in motion. They'll throw to him. Backwards, a one-handed catch. And Pasiga, a great open field tackle. And that is his 4th of the game, and no bigger one than that one thus far.
Yeah, I mean, it was a tremendous catch. It was thrown, Logan, so far behind the line of scrimmage. I thought it was going to be a halfback pass. But ultimately, Pasiga read it well, and, you know, why wouldn't you on 3rd and 9 try to go to your all-state receiver? But just kind of too slow a developing play. And Panthers rally to the football and make the play. And once again, Logan, they're going to get tremendous field position.
Ness to punt. Johnson and Forsgren back to receive. A low line drive. Lakeville North clears out of the way, takes a nice Coon Rapids roll, but it's still going to be on the Panther side of midfield.
No, it'll be on the Cardinals side of midfield, 49-yard line. But yeah, tremendous field position again. How can the Panthers take advantage of it this time? They got to take care of the football as well.
Yeah, they'll try to take care of the football. I don't think they're going to panic or change anything, but it is the end of the first quarter. We're going to take a 1-minute break. We'll be back after this here on LNPanthers.live and CTN.
Okay, I have a couple good ones for you, Joe. How do football players stay cool? By standing next to the fans. What kind of tea do football players drink? Penalty. Why can't you play football with pigs? Because they hog the ball.
And welcome back, everybody, here as Lakeville North starting their drive here in the second quarter. A handoff right up the gut. And that was Wilkie with the carry. Positive gain of 6 or 7. That's what Lakeville North tries to do. They like to wear out defenses, even if they don't score early. They won't abandon the run. They'll use that big line and try to wear down the team and take over in the second half.
Yeah, impressive first quarter for the Cardinals, but yeah, a lot of football left to play, and obviously Lakeville North not going to panic, trailing by just a single score.
Wilkie once more, and he shoves the pile forward for 3. I think he might be just short of the first down. It'll be very close. We'll see what the spot. There's a flag. It came in late.
Well, and Coon Rapids doesn't have nearly the depth that Lakeville North does, so that is an advantage to the Panthers, of course.
No, Coon Rapids known to occasionally make a frustration type penalty after the play. We'll see if this is the case. I know that Lakeville North was told not to respond if it happens and to try to take advantage of that fact. We'll see what the call is.
Dead ball on foot. Number 12 in the
And it was unsportsmanlike on the Panthers.
Yeah, that call on Lakeville North was number 12, Lane Johnson, as you see here. Well, Cummings Coleman whacked Johnson down, and then Johnson must have retaliated somehow.
Oh, that was a flop.
Kaijan.
If you can make it work, might as well.
Well, but that's exactly what Coach Vossen talked about, right? Is not responding.
Well, first and 10, they'll hand off to Wilkie again. Again, just diving up the middle, and you're starting to see those 3- and 4-yard runs turn into 6- and 7-yard runs. Brings up 2nd and 2.
Yeah, Lakeville North is very comfortable in these games, and I like the ball protection right there. Big physical hit.
Fearing and Karen combined for the tackle. 2nd and 2. And the back falls down. Grossman will just try to make something out of nothing. Brings it around the corner before he's nudged out by Cummings Coleman.
Yeah, you're going to call C-Squared's name a lot tonight, whether he's coming up to make plays defensively, intercepting balls, catching balls, playing as a running back, whatever. But, yeah, that play was kind of busted from the start for Lakeville North, but still very manageable 3rd and 2 coming up right here.
Almost certainly 4-down territory if necessary, as running into the game, Hunter Wheatonen to bring some beef inside. Hand off to Ripplinger, who is repelled right at the line for no gain. And shooting the gap was Samson LeClaire.
Samson LeClaire with 5 tackles already in this game. He's not the biggest guy, but he just read it super well from his linebacker position, came up and made the stop. Now it's another 4th down coming up for the Panthers.
0 for 1 on 4th down on the day. Lakeville North on the year on 4th down has been pretty efficient, converting 71% of their 4th downs. A big opportunity here. Play action, they'll throw to the outside, complete to Fries, a 1st down and more, and Ogroski with the tackle, but a big gainer. 14 yards to Seb Fries. And it's a Panther conversion on a big 4th down.
His
Bit on the play action.
Yeah, his 22nd catch of the season. 6'3", 220-pound junior. He's a target out of that backfield. And that's just a well-designed play by Coach Brian Vossen and the Lakeville North staff.
Grossman with a heavy set. It's Wilkie, he slithers through. And again, you see Wilkie, it takes multiple tacklers to get him down. Another big gain of 8 yards on 1st down inside the 30 to the 25.
Well, and ball security-wise, again, he just covers it up with 2 hands and just plunges straight ahead. And they do a nice job of alternating their running backs here. And he's, 9 carries and 32 yards already, but it does take multiple hats to the football to bring him down. And again, 2nd and 3 coming up, a positive gain on 1st down.
2nd and open playbook, we'll call it. 2nd is short. They'll just pitch it to Ripplinger. He has a seam. Splits through, and another positive gain. 6 or 7 inside the 20. The 7th tackle for Samson LeClaire. And Lakeville North on the move. We'll see if Coon Rapids can come up with a big defensive play once more.
I believe 2nd time in the red zone for Lakeville North tonight. The 1st time resulted in an interception, but Ripplinger may be the outside guy, but he's not afraid to run it physically in between the tackles either.
4 carries, 27 yards for Ripplinger. He's the back. He'll take it again right up the gut.
They are A-okay getting chunk plays.
Brought down by Fearing, a gain of 3.
Yeah, I mean, they are fine with just getting 3 yards here, 4 yards here. It's nothing fancy. It's exactly like you said. Brian Vossen has his tenets, and he'll stick to them. And Lakeville North on the march here in the 2nd quarter.
Wilkie back in. And a heavy set, just 1 receiver. And Wilkie gets to the outside. Not much. He was initially slowed down in the backfield. Ogroski finished off the play.
Jared Fearing was the one who shot the gap, and he slipped out of the tackle of Fearing, but a great job of reading the play. But you see the strength of Ripplinger, or of, I beg your pardon, Sawyer Wilkie, who shed that tackle of Fearing. But again, Fearing and Samson LeClaire have been everywhere from their linebacker positions.
Brings up 3rd and 6. Panthers 1 of 3 on 3rd down today. And the pitch back. Wilkie has the outside, breaks a tackle, in for a Lakeville North touchdown. Wilkie, the 14-yard scamper, has 12 carries, 54 yards already, and that puts him over 2,000 for his career. He needed 50 today.
Well, just a talented run, broke multiple tackles, bounced it to the outside as we see here, and just cut back inside. Poor pursuit angle taken by one of the Coon Rapids linebackers. I believe that was Aloysius Nippon, and that was all it needed.
Colander kicks the extra point. It's right between the pipes. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back in 30 seconds here on LNPanthers.live and CTN.
As you know, CTN's on YouTube, and we're on in a big way. We have thousands of videos online to help you stay connected to Coon Rapids on any device, at home, or on the go. And it's because of your faithful viewership that we can celebrate 10,000 subscribers to the CTN YouTube page. Thank you for your support as we continue to keep you connected.
And welcome back. Sawyer Wilkie scored his 9th touchdown of the year, has 12 carries, 50-plus yards, and we'll see it once again. Broke a couple tackles, and Lakeville North made the extra point. They now have the lead for the first time today. Reese Hunt runs up. He'll pooch it short. Takes a couple bounces, picked up by the up man, Ogroski, with a little bit of room. Decent return up to the 37-38 yard line.
That was an impressive drive by Lakeville North. 49 yards, but they took 11 plays and nearly 5 minutes off the clock. So very methodical, very Panther-like drive. And now the Cardinals with a little bit of work to do. They had all the momentum after the first quarter, but the defense is finding, not surprisingly, finding that Lakeville North rushing game tough to deal with.
Big offensive possession here, I think, for Coon Rapids. Looking to answer back after a Panther score.
No question. Not only that, Logan, I think they need to pick up a couple first downs and try to grind the clock a little bit. I would like to see a few runs with Adi, if possible, just to give the defense a little bit of a rest.
Adi will get the carry, picks up 2. I said no first downs in the last 2 drives for Coon Rapids. Adi only gets 2 running into the heart of the defense.
Yeah, really, they had that first drive, which was excellent, and since then it's been absolutely bupkis.
Braden Owens, I think, on the hit. He's had a nice day today. Several tackles, also a forced fumble. 5 tackles and a forced fumble. 2nd and 8. They'll check the line. And Adi back there, Cummings, Coleman in the slot on the top of your screen. Dropping back, and they'll try to throw it to Adi.
Got to be careful with that live ball, but yeah, that swing pass just never materialized. I'd like to see them try to target Ogroski. Lofton Ogroski, I think only have been targeted 1 time so far. Be nice to see them try to get just a simple like slant or something to him, because he has been held in check. And I think if Coon Rapids has any chance to win this football game, they're not going to do it on the ground. They have to pass the ball. They have to do it through the air.
1 of 4 on 3rd down for Coon Rapids. A big one here on 3rd and 8 from their own 40. Panthers show blitz. They bring pressure, stepping up and letting it fly into triple coverage. And still catching it anyway is Kai John Cummings Coleman. A spectacular play down to the 30.
That was a huge pass play of more than 30 yards, or nearly 30 yards. And it was just a jump ball. And Maddock, you see here, just flicks it in the air and trusts that his receiver will be able to go up and get it. And sure enough, that's exactly what happened.
A key 3rd down conversion, 29 yards. And the Coon Rapids fans who made the trek from the North Metro liking what they see.
And that's exactly what you should do when you have an all-state receiver like C Squared. Just give him the ball and let him go make a play.
He'll take it out of the backfield this time. Finds a seam. Holding on to the ankles was A.J. Pasiga. He's had a nice day today. 5 tackles for Pasiga. But a gain of 6. They say 5. 2nd and 5 at the Panther 26.
I always like it when Nick Russin and the Coon Rapids coaching staff, Logan, find creative ways to get the ball in the hands of number 2. And one of those ways is to line him up at running back.
Now Adi back at running back. Maddock takes the snap. He'll flush out. He'll just heave it up again. It's another jump ball. This one broken up on the coverage. Caleb Peterson, intended for John Cummings Coleman.
Yeah, I thought he had made another excellent play on it, but it was broken up nicely at the end. And again, just throwing it up.
He just dropped that one.
Yeah, he just dropped it. Yeah, that's what I thought, because I thought he got in his hands on it. But
Caleb Peterson was right there, but that hit him in the hands. I'm sure if you ask the young man, he would say he would like to try that one again.
Yeah, he sure probably thinks he should have caught it. But here, 2-down territory for the Cardinals, so two downs essentially to get 4 yards, 5 yards.
Cummings Coleman in the backfield again. Maddock is 5 of 10 for 55 yards and a touchdown today. Timeout called on the field. We'll take a 30-second timeout and be back after this.
So Howie, did you know the term soccer actually came from England?
But don't the English call soccer football, like pretty much everyone else?
Yeah, but only after we started saying soccer and the world was mocking us for it.
So you're saying the UK set us up?
Yep, sabotage.
Brits.
We'll have a Lakeville Dental Panther online fan club newsletter for all the Panther fans watching right now on our streaming platform. You can't see it on TV, so scan the QR code and you'll get a weekly email from Roy Koenigsberg, who writes those for you. They have highlights, game previews, recaps, and more. Lakeville North leads by 1, but Coon Rapids on the move. Panthers showing pressure. Somebody moved early. It's a false start, and that's a costly false start. This is now 3rd and long.
Especially coming out of a timeout. You had the play you wanted. You had John up the middle, and this just almost certainly forces you into a passing down.
3rd and 10. Back to the 31. According to the Football Hub stats, there has not been an attempted field goal on the year by Coon Rapids, so that likely not on the table. Maddock.
Although they do have a good soccer player in Jackson Young as their kicker.
Maddock takes the snap. He is under duress, steps up. Now off and running. He'll try to get there himself. He's very close before being nudged out by Moline. We'll see where the spot is. Worst case scenario, it's 4th and very short. Nice job by Maddock. Not known for being much of a running threat. Only 40 carries, negative 13 yards on the year.
Which is obviously all sacks. But yeah, I wish he'd run the ball a little bit more. I think he's more athletic than he gets credit for. And I think certainly that if he wanted to, he could make something happen with his feet.
Picks up 9, 4th and 1. 1 of 1 on 4th down today. Running up, now going to just try and sneak it. It's close. There's a flag down. We'll see first where the spot is, and wonder, then what the flag is.
Yeah, Logan, I wonder if he didn't get set when he came there.
It looks like that is the case.
And now he's, took the brunt of that one.
You want to definitely get the first down if you earn it like that against Dorian Addison and Antonio Menard on that interior line from Lakeville North, but still 4th and certainly manageable at 6 yards.
Yeah, definitely still doable. And even if you turn the ball over here, you're still forcing them to go a long way. But yeah, those penalties, especially on 3rd and 4th down, are killers.
Cummings Coleman in the short side slot. Maddock drops, and he is taken down. Antonio Menard. It's a sack sale at Menard's.
He just bull rushed and tried. I believe that was maybe Yeah, Otten was just driven right back into the quarterback. And so
that was 5'8", 155, trying to block 6'3", 235. The math just doesn't work.
No, and Otten is a brave effort. He stuck his nose in there, but was always going to get pushed back. And actually that sack gives Lakeville North better field position, of course, than they might have otherwise had. Not surprisingly, Brian Vossen dials up the pressure on 4th down.
Yep, that's where Coon Rapids misses Danny Scheller a little bit bigger, protecting the quarterback on those blitz pickups. Lakeville North scored on their last drive as they'll adjust the clock.
We've had a lot of stoppages between the penalties and clock issues and whatnot. A lot of stoppages here tonight.
4 minutes and 16 seconds to go until our Jill Henning halftime report. Pitch back. A seam for Wilkie. And he picks up 7 across the 40 to the 41. And then
another tackle by Ogroski. Pretty impressive, as well as
LeClaire.
Samson LeClaire, whose name we've called not a lot tonight. But another nice gain on 1st down. And this is a big drive, Logan. It goes without saying. But I'll say it anyway, because obviously if Lakeville North can drive it down and punch it in right before halftime, they'll have dominated the 2nd quarter, and they'll go into the halftime break feeling all kinds of good.
Wilkie takes the handoff and just punishes Logan Ness, who makes the tackle, but you can start to see Coon Rapids getting up a little slower after some of those finishing those runs by Wilkie, holding it with 2 hands till he can't.
Yeah, it's a very sort of meat and potatoes offense here for Lakeville North, but hey, it's effective.
1st and 10. They'll hand off to Ripplinger, and again, just a straight dive. Not a lot of misdirection. Another late flag. The first one went against Lakeville North. Kai-John Cummings-Coleman taking home an Oscar on that one, but fooled the official. That's all that counts. We'll see if that's the case this time.
It looked like Carter Crawford was getting mixed up with Ogroski, or one of the linebackers in the backfield, so we'll see if a personal foul is assessed either way.
And it goes against Lakeville North once more.
And I couldn't hear whether he said 68 or 62. Anderberg has got his hands up like, hey, why'd you call it on me? From my vantage point, it looked like 62. Oh.
Yeah, that looked like 68 got jabbed in the face.
Yeah, DeMont Jones whacked Anderberg, and somehow Anderberg gets the personal foul.
That's 2 questionable personal fouls. But you know what? Sometimes if you're the underdog, you need a break. They've gotten 2.
And sometimes it's the reaction. It's the second guy who gets called for it.
And play action, Grossman looking to throw, has all kinds of time. Now we'll just step up and run. Probably should have just tossed it away. Maybe got a yard out of it. Riley Grossman is a good athlete. He can take off and run. They say just back to the line of scrimmage, so.
Well,
second and a long way, 3rd and a long way.
Logan, you got to think about that completion percentage in that instance. And he was able to get something out of it, but yeah, 3rd and 23. Expect another pass. Again, not Lakeville North's preferred method, but they can do it.
3rd and 23. No give to Wilkie. He has some room. Picks up positive yards, but Lakeville North will likely punt as it's 4th and about 14. You can hear the unpopularity of some of those calls here on the, we're right above the Panther fan section. Wilkie with a nice run as 15 carries, 76 yards. We still have 2.5 to go until halftime. Riley Grossman, usually the punter. Kai-John Cummings-Coleman back to receive. Grossman.
Very growly call. Not a Grossman.
Grossman with a low punt. It's returnable for Cummings Coleman, and he gets 7 yards back before he's taken down by a whole slew and another flag. Ben Stevenson made the tackle. We'll see what the flag is.
And Kyjon Cummings Coleman comes up limping there as he sort of started to jog off. Could this be another, unnecessary roughness? Cummings Coleman limping though as he gets to the sideline. They did seem to fall on top of him with a little extra gusto. But Lakeville North penalties tonight, personal fouls have not gone their way.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, Lakeville North bench, 15 yards.
They say on the Lakeville North bench?
They did. I think there was maybe some barking, some woofing at Kyjon Cummings Coleman after he was tackled and stacked up. Brian Vossen clearly disagrees. Third personal foul of the first half. And obviously that's very uncharacteristic of a Coach Vossen coach team.
I'm sure he's frustrated, but still Panthers with a 1-point lead going into halftime. I'm sure this wasn't the script they had in mind, but still with the lead. But a big opportunity here for Coon Rapids.
No question. 2:07 left. 2 timeouts, trailing by just a point.
Maddock just gives it to Adi, who kind of slides his way forward to the middle of the field for 4 or 5.
It's probably the smallest one on the field, it looks like, and he still able to pick his way for a positive gain.
Right back up to the line.
Second down and 6 yards to go from the 48-yard line.
Cummings Coleman in isolation to the left. They'll just hand again to Adi. That one goes backwards. Menard back there. You wonder if Menard has had a couple nice plays at the expense of Jeremy Adi here today.
Well, he already ran him over for 1 sack, and then he made a tackle for loss right there. But, yeah, I don't mind the calls to run it because then you keep it out of that Lakeville North offense hands. You still have 2 timeouts left to go.
3rd and long. Pass to Cummings Coleman, who puts it on the turf. Lakeville North signaling that they thought it may have been backwards. The official disagrees immediately. That looked pretty clearly forward from this point of view. But it's an incomplete pass, so now with 1:13 to go, Lakeville North will likely get the ball back.
Second drop of the night on Kyjon Cummings Coleman, and the second time today too that a Coon Rapids receiver has taken their eyes off the ball on a bubble screen. So maybe the reputation of Lakeville North's hard-hitting defense has preceded them. As you see Kyjon on the sideline just trying to check and test out that left ankle. But I have no doubt that we'll see him in the second half if he can continue. That guy's a gamer.
High punt, fair catch called for by Forsgren, who makes it at the 22, where Lakeville North will start it, see if they just try to get into halftime with a couple running plays, or if they want to put together a drive with 1:05 and let Riley Grossman try to move them down the field.
You know, everyone, Logan, including you and I, have predicted a Lakeville North Eden Prairie state tournament quarterfinal, and we'll see if that comes to pass, but you can't take anything for granted in the state playoffs. We know that by now in Class 6A. And Coon Rapids certainly giving the Panthers all they could handle in the first half.
Coon Rapids has lost in the first round the last 3 years, but the last time they won in the first round, they made it all the way to the semifinals at US Bank Stadium, where they eventually lost to Chaska. But
Class 5, yeah, that time they were in Class 5A.
Grossman, a little end around. Forsgren has good speed. He gets the edge and escorted out of bounds up near the 35. Should be very close to a first down. Little trickeration there.
I like that play call too, Logan, because not only does it help you pick up the first down, but you got to get out of bounds, stopping the clock with less than 58 seconds remaining.
Aiden Forsgren, that's his 7th carry of the year. Came in with 84 yards. A big play receiver. Gets occasional carries in situations like that. And now we'll see if they go to the air with a little momentum. Still 2 timeouts, so they can run or throw over the middle. They go with play action, quick pass to Fries. Knocked out of bounds immediately, a gain of 6.
They're running the clock, though.
Looks like he got out, but they say no.
Might have been a Might have been a forward progress kind of situation. Now Lakeville North still has 2 timeouts remaining. We'll see how aggressive they use them. Obviously, Coach Vossen dismayed by the decision, and now they might just kneel it at this point.
It looks like Wilkie the deep back. Big cushion. They'll hand off to Wilkie. He has a seam to the outside, almost enough to pick up the first down. May have it, but that should take us, unless they call a timeout and set up a Hail Mary. Should be the last play of the half.
First down. First and 10.
Looks like they do call that timeout, as we'll keep it right here for this one as we lead up to the likely final play of the half. It's been a wild first half. Brian Vossen, 112 wins in his career for Lakeville North, up against only 38 losses.
Yeah, he is a coaching legend. He's established quite a culture here at Lakeville North. And Logan, as the Panthers broadcaster, you get to talk to him just about every week. And from everything you've told me, he just sounds like a class guy. He just seems like a really stand-up guy. And he is certainly, again, established a very winning, strong tradition of football here in Lakeville. Just imagine if there was still a Lakeville and these were combined programs. They'd never lose.
9.9 seconds before the 2020 season, Lakeville North had won at least 7 games for 13 consecutive years. The last 3 have been tough for the Panthers, but kind of back to form this season. A little play action fake. Grossman under duress, and he's going to be sacked for a loss as DeMont Jones in the backfield, and that will take us to halftime as we will take a short timeout, and we'll be back with highlights. The marching band, actually I don't think the marching band is here today, so we'll have the dance team for you, as well as stats and highlights. But we'll keep it right here for a minute as we'll focus it in on the dance team when they come out, and we'll take a quick hiatus and be back after their performance.
Watching your favorite Cardinal sports live is getting even easier. Whether it's CTN Cable Channel 859, the CTN Facebook and YouTube pages, or now live on our Twitter page. You choose how you want to watch Cardinal Nation. With CTN, you'll be able to catch all the big plays, all the emotion, and all the fun of Coon Rapids sports. CTN Coon Rapids, stay connected.
Welcome back, everybody, to this joint production of CTN and LNPanthers.live. Costume night. We're close to Halloween. We see some good ones there. A cow, a rabbit, and a banana. So we have both our fruits and our proteins represented in the costume section. But right now on the scoreboard, Lakeville North leads by 1. And it started off looking good with Jeremy Oddie running well for Coon Rapids on their opening drive. Just showed his elusiveness a couple different times, making Oka Asifa miss, and then finally that pass to Kaijon Cummings-Coleman, who scored the lone touchdown for Coon Rapids in that first half.
Yeah, it was a brilliant start for the Cardinals. They got everything they wanted. Lakeville North was able to move the ball, Logan, but it didn't always result in points.
This time it did. Sawyer Wilkie. Well, I thought it was a different play. Sawyer Wilkie's been offensive.
This is it.
Running for 87 yards and a touchdown in the first half. Breaking tackles, and the Panthers would make the extra point. And that's where we got to this point. 7-6. Lakeville North with the lead. Coon Rapids trying to pull what has become a pretty rare 7-2 upset. Lakeville North dominating the countable statistics, 120 yards on the ground, only 15 through the air. They've limited Coon Rapids to just 30 on the ground and 55 through the air, 135 total yards for the Panthers, 85 for Coon Rapids. The big one, the turnovers, Lakeville North 1, Coon Rapids none, and the penalties, 5 for 51 yards, 3 personal fouls, 2 of them we'll say questionable on the replay. But you know what? Ultimately, it doesn't matter. You have to not put yourself in that position. 4 penalties for 30 yards on Coon Rapids, and both teams very much in this contest right now. We're going to take another timeout. We'll get in one more break on LNPanthers.live, and we'll be back with final halftime thoughts and more on our Jill Henning State Farm halftime report after this.
Howie, do you know why fish are so bad at volleyball? Because they're afraid of the net.
Why me?
Why couldn't the volleyball player cross the road? There were too many bumps. Why was Cinderella kicked off the team? Because she ran away from the ball.
I hate you.
Welcome back, everybody. Jackson Young's going to try an onside kick. It doesn't make it 10 yards, so Lakeville North will get the ball in good field position to start this drive.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. Coon Rapids has been known to do that, and but they almost pulled it off against Blaine, but they could not quite pull it off here. And so Lakeville North will once again take over. And one thing we haven't talked about, Logan, is the field position that the Panthers have had. They have had outstanding field position all game, and they've been able to move the ball. They turned it over to the end zone once, but were able to convert it into points another time.
Starting, averaging on their own 43, now starting in Coon Rapids territory at the 44. Pitched back to Wilkie, who continues right where he left off late, running over Coon Rapids defenders. Jabri Palmer taking the brunt, made the tackle. But Lakeville North came off with a big push on the first offensive play.
They just want to grind you into submission, and that's what Lakeville North is going to try to do here, I think, on this drive. This is a big drive for both teams after Coon Rapids made the bold decision to, rather than let Lakeville North just churn up the clock, to try to get the onside kick.
Here you go. 2nd and 1. Loaded box, they go to Wilkie anyway, who just trucks over a would-be tackler for a first down, I think. That was LeClaire again, who, regardless of the result, is going to sleep well tonight.
Well, he sticks his nose in there, and he tries to make the tackle, and he ultimately does make the tackle, but Wilkie will make you feel it for sure. Big thanks to Harley. He's given us some terrific stats tonight.
Wilkie, a commit to the University of Minnesota Duluth. He'll be a good one there. He takes it right up the middle. That was Ripplinger this time, who rips it into the hole for 5 on first down.
Logan, does Lakeville North have any other college commits right now?
They do in other sports.
Okay.
So, of course, Quinn Power going to play lacrosse at Lindenwood. Cal Schmelsley will play at Augustana for baseball. I want to say there's one more. You're putting me on the spot.
Yeah, sorry.
But likely some of the big linemen will end up playing Division II or Division III. Pitch to the outside to Ripplinger. He shows some shimmy down the sideline for a first down.
He's got that Lakeville North sideline fired up. This is exactly what Brian Vossen wanted to do. They're not ripping off big plays. This isn't a big play offense. This is a grind you down, methodical offense like we've talked about. And Ripplinger, nice job. Kaijan Cumming-Coleman gets blocked out of the play, and he thought Ripplinger was going to try to take it to the sideline, but he cut it back upfield instead.
First down for North at the 20. They'll try the edge again, and it's Wilkie this time, running right through Aloysius Nippon.
You know, it's just part of this Lakeville North identity, Logan. Just run the football, be physical at the point of attack, and make you feel them. And that's exactly what they're doing to Coon Rapids.
That puts Wilkie over 100 yards with 103 on 19 carries and the lone touchdown for the Panthers. This could be a chance to go to the play action or see if they just try to keep it on the ground. Ripplinger is the deep back. Panthers have thrown one interception on the day. They'll just pitch back to Wilkie. They look like they found something they like on the outside. And a big stick by Fearing.
Yeah, Jared Fearing. Again, just the physical presence of him. Japri Palmer in there as well. Coon Rapids has some big boys on the defensive side of the football, some big athletic kids. But so far, Lakeville North has been able to do what it's done. And despite turning the ball over a couple times, once on downs and once through the air.
3rd down and 2. They're 2 of 5 on 3rd down on the day. Make it 3 of 6 as behind the right guard, Fearing makes the tackle, but Wilkie moves the chains, and all the chains are going to go down on the sideline. It's 1st and goal.
Yeah, Fearing making another tackle. And what have we talked about all night? LeClaire and Fearing and Kaijan Cummings-Coleman and some others, Logan Ogroski. It's all the linebackers. It's all the second level that are making these tackles because the Wilkie and Ripplinger are picking up 5-6 yards a carry.
Panthers have moved right down the field, taking advantage of good field position. They give to Wilkie, who's ridden down from behind by Ness, short of the goal. It's 2nd and goal. Ball will be on the 1.
You know, you can really hear the pads hitting hard, thumping all the way up here thanks to the terrific job by our CTN crew of putting the Nat mics out there. But there's just some hard hitting going down there despite the cold night.
Lakeville North has come out with a lot of energy in the second half. We'll see if they can finish the drive. It's 2nd and goal from the 1. And they do just what they started, and lunging in for a Panther touchdown. It's Sawyer Wilkie, his 2nd of the game.
I mean, it was the most predictable play ever, Logan, as the Halloween-clad students, costume-clad students love it on the sidelines. But he just thundered in, just between the tackles, relentless. You know what's coming. You know it's coming right at you, but there's nothing you can do about it.
I suspect that Lakeville North came out with an emphasis of establishing the run. Colander will try the extra point to put Lakeville North up 14-6. A big offensive possession upcoming for Coon Rapids. We'll take a break and be back in 30 seconds. What's Wilkie's total?
Want to know the who, what, when, and where of Coon Rapids? Then follow CTN on social media. It's that simple. Whether it's Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, keep up with local news, sports, and events. And the people who make our community such a great place to live. So give us a follow, like, share, or subscribe, and always be the first to know what's up in Coon Rapids. That's CTN, helping you stay connected.
Lakeville North makes a statement to start the 3rd quarter. They expand their lead from 1-8 in Coon Rapids now. Really a big offensive possession, as they'll need to find a way to answer. They don't want to let Lakeville North get ahead. Kaijan Cummings-Coleman has ran 2 back this year. He breaks a tackle looking for the edge. Still dancing, makes several Panthers miss. Eventually,
oh, he flips it. but it was a forward pass. It's going to be flagged.
A forward lateral.
And now you have an injured Cardinal on the play. Maybe just a cramp or something. Not a bad idea. He got held up and then just sort of flipped it, but I think they're going to say it was an illegal forward pass. What a relentless drive for Lakeville North. 3 minutes and 16 seconds to go 44 yards.
Again, I think this is a huge drive for Coon Rapids, because if Lakeville North can go into clock-killing mode, they will, and they're very good at it. We'll see if they can get that ball in the hands of Kyjon Cummings-Coleman.
I just love the creativity. He's held up, the whistle's not blown, so he says, hey, I see a teammate, I'm going to flip it to him.
Flip that.
Logan, is clock-killing mode for Lakeville North anything different than their regular offense? Because their regular,
they just take more time in the huddle.
Yeah. Interesting formation to start for the Cardinals.
Maddock will throw to Cummings-Coleman. He has it in space. Moves backwards and still moving forward after going backwards. We'll have a first down and more. Addison, I think, eventually gets him from behind, but shows the elusiveness.
I have never, ever seen a high school athlete cross the field, go against the grain, quite like Kyjon Cummings-Coleman does, and he does it again. That's a tough, hard-earned 10 yards and a first down.
Owens and Addison, the linemen, eventually the ones who pursue him.
He's gonna sleep well tonight as well, because he's been busy. Finally kicked it to him, but we're able to cover it well.
Maddock hands off to Adi this time. He'll make a late move, crosses the line of scrimmage, gets a little bit before A.J. Pasiga brings him down.
You know, credit to Adi. He is the smallest one out there, but he is just picking his way, finding 2, 3, 4 yards, sometimes 6 yards at a time. And he is showing a real fearlessness as a sophomore in that running back position, as they're down to, their backup running back tonight with Scheller out.
Second down and 8. Maddock with Adi back there. Coleman to the left. Play action. Wants to throw, looking for Ogroski. Did he keep his toes in?
No, he did not.
Incomplete.
Yeah, he tried to bring it in, and he's done that before this year, Logan, but just could not do that this time as the ball just sailed in the wind on Maddock, I think.
Yeah, he kept him in for a while, trying to get there, but just carried on him, didn't catch it anyway.
Kind of surprised that number 2 for Lakeville North didn't try to make sure, but didn't end up needing to.
2 of 7 on third down. Maddock looks to the sideline. We'll see if they try to get the ball to Coleman. He's the middle receiver to the left. He is under immediate duress, and it's tipped and incomplete, probably pass interference. As Ogroski getting up a little slowly.
I like that they're starting to target Ogroski. The last 2 passes have gone to him.
It's on Forsgren.
Forsgren covering Ogroski on both of those last couple plays, and that time he arrived just a little bit too early as we see the ball go over the middle. I'm not sure. I'm not sure I saw that.
I did not.
Flags have not been in favor of the Panthers tonight, but hey, Coon Rapids will take any help they can get on the road against a highly ranked team.
You're the 7th seed on the road. You need to come up with some breaks. And it's 1st and 10. Still on their own 48. Maddock. And that is incomplete, intended for Cummings-Coleman, nearly ricocheted to Fearing. Or Waldron, excuse me. And ultimately falls harmlessly to the artificial turf.
You know, Maddock is just not putting as much zip. He had one crossing pass to Fearing that he put some zip on. He's kind of floating the ball out, and I just don't know. That one's behind Fearing, of course, but I just don't know if he's able to get much of a grip in the cold. But he's kind of throwing some sort of lobby passes or whatever, and he's just not. He needs to step into his throws a little bit more, I think.
Panthers showing pressure. Maddock will look to the coaching staff. Play action. Steps up in the pocket, has room. He's brought down by Schmelsley, but picks up a solid 6 or 7. Likely puts Coon Rapids in 4-down territory, although he is hobbling either off the field or to go get the play. It looks like he's going to stay in.
Yeah, he goes to the sideline every time to get the play, but I like that play, and I think if you had a running quarterback to go along with the passing attack and decent runners, I think you'd have a really dynamic offensive attack that would be really hard to stop. Now, Coon Rapids has been hard to stop all season, but the running element, when Maddock can use his feet, I think that adds just another dimension to this Coon Rapids offense.
Maddock awaiting the snap. Hands to Adi. Adi taken down by Menard like he has some kind of personal agenda against him. He is just grabbed and tossed. And now it's 4th down. It's a loss of a yard. So 4th and 4.
Logan, you watch this Lakeville North defense a lot. Do you think the strength is in the size and speed of that defensive line?
Yes. There's a lot of strength, but then the linebackers are all pretty good too. We haven't said Reese Hunt's name very often, but he's a big play linebacker. They're pretty solid all the way across. Big 4th down. Maddock under pressure, and he is brought down.
Speaking of that defensive line,
Dorian Addison just beats his man up the middle, and it's a turnover on downs.
Addison, 6'3", 265-pound senior. I'd imagine some colleges might be looking at him too, because he is exactly what you want in a big defensive end. And Maddock just had no time to throw. And once again, Logan, Lakeville North gets the football with really advantageous field position.
Starting right at midfield this time. They did not go to the air once on their last drive.
I can't imagine why they would now.
A steady diet of Wilkie and Ripplinger. Wilkie, the deep back, in a heavy set. And it's Wilkie who trudges forward for 3. He's tripped up by Fearing and company.
I gotta say, Logan, I've never seen so many creative ways, so many creative formations just to run the ball in between
run
the
a
tackles.
dive.
Exactly. Just to run the ball in between the tackles and keep it, in between the hashes. But Brian Vossen, again, that's his bread and butter. That's the way he believes you can win. And obviously with the weather getting cold, you can always just run the football in any kind of weather and find success.
This has been a little bit of an anomaly. Usually Riley Grossman passes 15 to 17 times per game. This time they try the outside with Wilkie. He breaks a tackle, should have a 1st down, eventually brought down by Logan Ness, but I think it was Lofton Ogroski who had a chance and couldn't make the play.
Well, they must just feel that they can physically impose their will on this Coon Rapids team, and sure enough, it was Ogroski whose tackle he slipped out of, but Wilkie has piled up the numbers tonight, and the future Bulldog looks very impressive, and it is such a nice kind of balance between him and then he comes out and Ripplinger spells it.
Ripplinger in there now. He'll try that right side. They found something they like there. He runs over a Cardinal tackler. A big round of applause from the Panthers sideline.
Yeah, it's starting to get chippy out there for sure. And I think the Price Karen taking the brunt of the punishment right there. But yeah, I wonder, Logan, if we're just going to start to see Lakeville North, especially in the 4th quarter, start to carve out big chunks of runs.
Was there a flag?
There's a holding, yep.
So there was holding, and it's coming back.
And it might be, I think it was on number 21 there. holding Japri Palmer, the outside linebacker. Probably the right call. And actually, it's pretty amazing how they have not been called for any holdings tonight. First holding of the night after they've run the ball so much.
Blake Krause, the tight end. Instead of a first down, it's 1st and 15. Panthers still in a run set. Ripplinger just takes it up the gut for 5. Gets the back near the original line of scrimmage inside the 40.
That's what's so amazing, Logan, is that Lakeville North does have a quarterback that can throw that is very competent in Riley Grossman. It's not like they're playing their backup or anything. Gross can really throw, and yet Brian Vossen knows what he wants to do, knows what the game plan is, and won't deviate from it.
Yeah, I think he kind of came out after that first half and wanted to make a statement, is what it looks like to me, just knowing him a little bit.
Well,
and it's worked early.
Yeah, statements being made.
Pitch to the opposite side. It's Wilkie with a big seam. He'll pick up 9, maybe 10. Brings up 3rd and short.
Another tackle made in the backfield, or in the second level, by Lofton Ogroski. 9 tackles tonight now for Ogroski.
You don't want your defensive backs to be making tackles downfield on the running back that often.
No, but wisely going low to bring down Wilkie, who is a load. And he just keeps his pad level so low, Logan, which I think is one of the most impressive things about him.
3rd and 3, hasn't fumbled it, hasn't lost a fumble all year. Hopefully we didn't just give the broadcaster jinx, but he's just rock solid in about every way.
That was Logan who said that, in case you're wondering at home.
And they'll pitch back to Wilkie. He has the first down and more. He doesn't try to avoid tacklers at the end. He almost looks for that contact. I think that was Ogroski again.
Oh, yeah. No, he absolutely looks to deliver some punishment. Every time he gets the football, you've got the lead blocker out there, and why not? He knows he's bigger than a lot of these Coon Rapids defensive backs, and he's willing to dish out some punishment. And that's the thing, is the accumulation of those hits, Logan, it eventually breaks the will of the defense.
Probably the last play of what has been a quickly played 3rd quarter. Formation, Ripplinger the deep back, he'll carry, just stutter steps through a hole, doesn't get touched until he's 5 yards downfield and picks up 9, and that'll take us to the end of the 3rd. Lakeville North up 14-6, and they dominate the time of possession in the quarter. We'll take a break. We'll be back after this here on CTN and LNPanthers.live.
Today we're on soccer, Joe. So my goal is to kick around some topics with you, but I don't want to foul things up by being too forward.
Please stop that.
So could you assist me?
Stop.
Maybe pass some ideas
How?
so we can tackle this together?
Howie? Oh, boy.
I'm just saying, this really isn't my field.
Unbelievable.
And we're back here at Panther Stadium as Lakeville North leads by 8 with the ball in the red zone. We're here in the Luther Burnsville Hyundai broadcast booth. You can see a lot of energy on the sideline on the Lakeville North side. And we are back, 2nd down and 2. Lakeville North dominated the time of possession in the 3rd. Handoff to Ripplinger, 1st down, moves the chains, picks up 4. It was 8:26 to 3:34. 2 first downs on 1 possession for Coon Rapids, as Japri Palmer down for Coon Rapids. Hopefully they'll get him up, but...
Yeah, he immediately gestured to the sideline after that, and again, this is where cramping, this is where the physical play of this game might take its toll here in the 4th quarter.
As they work on him, we'll take a timeout here. We'll be back in 1 minute. And we're back. 1st and 10 from the Coon Rapids 12. Pitch to the outside. It's Ripplinger. He makes a couple man miss and then runs over a would-be tackler who I believe was Ness before he's brought down after another positive gain. Close to a first down.
Yeah, he's right at the spot. Maybe Wilkie will share some of his touchdowns with Ripplinger.
LeClaire made the first contact but couldn't make the stop. 2nd and 1. Ripplinger on the year has 4 rushing touchdowns. So he is not a stranger to the end zone. Had 2 for over 70 yards against Eastridge. Ripplinger still the back. Wilkie is the fullback. They give to Ripplinger. He's almost untouched into the end zone. And Lakeville North another touchdown.
I mean, I feel like a broken record saying it, Logan, but it's just straight down Main Street, straight up the gut, in between the tackles. You know, dive left, dive right, and didn't need any fullback help there. Very impressive from this Lakeville North offense, which once again cashes in on a short field. I believe that drive was 50 yards. Harley can confirm that for us, but again, nothing fancy. This time Ripplinger getting the touchdown.
Colander makes the extra point. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Sam Ripplinger with a rushing touchdown. He joined Sawyer Wilkie reaching pay dirt. Wilkie's been there twice. Ripplinger in on the action, and it's 21-6. Lakeville North was down. They were down 6-0 early in this game. Since then, the Panthers have run off 21 straight. The squib kick bounces off. Player Cummings Coleman will pick it up. It makes a couple players miss and shows that elusiveness as he picks up 6 yards. That's not the way you draw it up, Bill.
That's the toughest 6 yards you're ever going to see on a kickoff return, though. And he's, again, a little bit limpy on that taped up left ankle. But he's gonna gut it out, knowing this might be his last quarter of high school football in a Coon Rapids jersey. Now, we did hear that Forest Lake was the winner over Wyzetta. Don't have a final score, but it looks like if this result holds, the Rangers will be coming here for the second round next week.
The coaching staff, you're going to, I assume, try to get it into the hands of your big playmakers. They find an open receiver on a little jailbreak screen.
You know, given Logan,
it was Adi.
Given Lakeville North's propensity to blitz and their aggressive defensive line, I'm surprised that Coon Rapids hasn't called more screen passes like that, because I think if you get it to the right playmaker, and Adi got a positive gain out of that one, but I think that could be very positive.
I think that's probably why they went to Adi. You'd think they'd try that to Cummings Coleman, but then if I can predict that, probably so can they.
Sure.
Although sometimes it doesn't always seem to matter. Or goes into motion here. We'll see if he gets it. Looks like he's more of a decoy there, and Maddock will scramble. He's brought down after a gain of 1 or 2 by Menard, who has been everywhere.
He sure has tonight. I'm also surprised.
6 tackles for Menard.
I'm also surprised, Logan, that Cummings Coleman, they don't give him jet sweeps. You would think with as much as they send him in motion that they give him the ball on a jet sweep and let him get those puppies moving. But
they know that Antonio Menard is an Air Force commit.
That's true.
No jets. going to get past him. It's my terrible pun of the day. There's a quick pass to the flat to Cummings Coleman. He has a first down and a good open field tackle made by Lakeville North.
And it's enough for a first down, a big first down for Coon Rapids. They obviously every drive at this point is critical, but just again a quick bubble screen, and you just want to get him into space, which to me, that's why I was saying about the jet sweep. That gets him into space.
Max Moline made the tackle, the Red Rocket. But it is 1st and 10 for Coon Rapids in a critical drive for the Cardinals. There's a quick pass timing play, looking for Waldron, incomplete.
Well, if the Cardinals can't come back in this game, Kyjon Cummings Coleman will certainly graduate as one of the all-time greats in Coon Rapids history. Again, committed to go to Iowa State next year, and he certainly has provided many thrills for Coon Rapids fans and for the CTN viewing audience over the years.
2nd down and 10. Maddox
Almost got him to jump again.
Maddox looks to the sideline. Adi back with him. Adi will try to wiggle his way free. Gets away from the initial tackler, but not the second. It's Owen who makes the play.
That just looked like it hurt. Adi is going to be, he's going to need an ice bath after this one. He has taken some lumps because they've really just run him between the tackles. It's not like they've gotten him out on the edge, but he has just tried to kind of hide between his linemen, but couldn't hide from Owens there.
3rd and 10. Is this 4-down territory at this point, the way Lakeville North is running it?
I
would
think
assume so.
I think so, Logan, and the ball is near midfield anyway, and that's where they've had it mostly, so I think so.
Gotta assume they try to get this in the hands of Cummings Coleman. They'll have a receiver run over the middle, thrown behind Jared Fearing and incomplete. He was covered pretty well by Schmelsley, but probably a on-the-money throw would have gotten there.
Yeah.
Oh, that got tipped. That was a nice play by Pasiga.
Yeah, it sure was. But again, you see, if you watch Maddox there, he's like moving his feet. You got to set your feet, step and throw, and step up in the pocket. So I think the fact that he hasn't been able to settle his feet has led to some errant throws. Of course, it was a nice play by Pasiga as well.
4th and 10. Maddox flushed out of the pocket. He'll throw it up towards Cummings Coleman. It's caught. I think he's out of bounds. We'll wait for the signal. And it's incomplete. Turnover on downs.
Now he dropped it. He tried to keep the toes in. And again, Maddox just doing what he does, throwing it up, trying to let his player make a play, but it was too far. And a few times tonight where he's kind of lofted it up, the football's drifted on him. I don't know if it's because of the wind, but that time it drifted a little bit too much for C Squared to keep his feet in.
This was a 7-6 game at halftime. Lakeville North has broken it open. And they have not completed a pass or attempted a pass in the second half.
Yeah.
Cummings Coleman showing some frustration on the sideline, but he has brought his A game today. Lakeville North starting in Coon Rapids territory again. And they'll go to Wilkie, waits for a block and just explodes. Shows great patience, picks up a first down, and Ogroski in double digits with tackles, but a Cardinal down.
DeMont Jones, the one who's injured, as Ogroski's there as well. I'm not sure if it's just a cramp or what, but what a punishing run there once again. Kind of surprised they're even bothering to line up with wide receivers at this point. But this is exactly, it does exactly look like a cramp for DeMont Jones, the way he fell over too.
Hopefully he'll be able to get back in.
Yeah, we'll see. Jeez, 28 carries, 156 yards, and 2 scores for Wilkie now.
It's a good thing that Harley's here to keep stats, because my book only has 20 slots to write down numbers.
Yeah, I don't know if I have the brain power to do that much math between the two runners tonight for Lakeville North.
8 minutes to go in regulation. Play action. They'll go to the air, and they look for Johnson, and it is complete. There's a flag down. Lane Johnson, for the moment, has a touchdown. We'll see what the penalty is. It's near the sideline. And that was a beautiful throw by Grossman. Ineligible player downfield, so it'll come back.
Looked like the ref was starting to rub his tummy. I was confused.
It's past dinner time.
He might be hungry. We do have pizza here up in the booth if he's interested. But yeah, that negates what was a really nice throw and catch, as Lakeville North apparently not done passing yet.
At the end of this game, we will have a BTD Manufacturing Hardworking Player of the Game. We'll also have a Lakeview Bank Money Moment of the Game. Owen Hansel, the guilty party, getting a little bit too far downfield. 1st and 15. And they go right back to the ground, and Wilkie gets most of the penalty yardage back. Picks up 8. And just allows the Panthers to just apply more of a physical toll on the Cardinals.
Yeah, I mean, it's 2nd and 15. I don't think they're intimidated. That's the thing. That's how much confidence they have running the football right now. And Forest Lake with a nice win tonight over Wyzetta, but certainly it's going to be a tall task for anyone facing this Panthers team to stop this rushing attack, especially if they are as determined to win the battle in the trenches as they have been tonight.
2nd down and 5. And they'll pitch back to Ripplinger. He has a seam, lowers the shoulder. 1st down near the 20. Did the ball come out late? Coon Rapids is signaling like it did. No signal from the officials, and it looks like it will remain with the Panthers.
Yeah, they were gesturing like they had turned it over, but Ripplinger either got it back or never lost it. And once again, Panthers move the chains.
In this portion of the bracket, the number 1 and 2 seeds are Eden Prairie and Lakeville North, the number 1 and 2 teams in the state by polls. They would meet in the state quarterfinals if everything goes chalk. 1st and 10, Lakeville North. It's a delayed handoff to Wilkie. Ripplinger. Everybody is fooled, and he is untouched into the end zone for a touchdown. 18 yards for Ripplinger, his 2nd of the game.
I'm not really sure why the defense was so sucked in off that delayed handoff, but the tailback for Lakeville North had absolutely acres of space to run into on that right side, waltzed in for a touchdown.
Bill, I think you may have been able to turn on the jets and reach the pylon.
Yeah, I'm not sure they'd even call them jets, but whatever I have, that's what I turn on to reach that corner end zone.
Colander's extra point is good. Lakeville North 28, Coon Rapids 6. We'll take a timeout and be back after this.
Okay, I have a couple good ones for you, Joe. How do football players stay cool? By standing next to the fans. What kind of tea do football players drink? Penalty. Why can't you play football with pigs? Because they hog the ball.
And Ripplinger with a multi-touchdown outing as Lakeville North looking at a potential matchup with Forest Lake for the 3rd year in a row. If they can hold on to a 28-6 lead over Coon Rapids with 6:24 to go here in the game. Ripplinger likely the feature back next year with Wilkie graduating, but good enough that even last year was getting a good amount of carries. Moline with the squib. It's picked up at the 28, trotted up to the 38, a 9 or 10 yard return. Ogroski, the up man. Probably put him there because a lot of people, I'm guessing, try to squib it with Cummings Coleman back there, who has returned 2 kicks for touchdowns in his career.
Yeah, I mean, you're always going to kick away from him to anybody else if you can. But, you know, Coon Rapids going to come out slinging here, obviously trailing by 3 scores. Started out so promisingly in that first quarter with a touchdown, you know, really keeping Lakeville North close, but Panthers really from the second quarter on have really turned it on.
And there is a pass backwards from Maddock, incomplete.
They just have not had the timing at all with these passing plays tonight, and part of it is the penetration of the offensive line, or the defensive line, I should say, for the Panthers. They've been getting in the backfield, disrupting the play, forcing Maddock to have happy feet and just not get much on those passes, and it just has not been crisp. And part of it's probably the wind and the weather, the cold. But whatever it is, their passing game has just not had its usual big play crispness tonight.
Maddock looking at pressure coming again. They rush 5. He's been sacked a couple times. It'll be one more. It's Schmelsley in the backfield. His second of the game, and it's his second of the year. You can see him getting into it.
Well, they're just blitzing him right up the gap, and Lakeville North, you know, the Coon Rapids just does not have enough blockers. They're outnumbering him up front, and there's very little Maddock can do, especially with the defensive backs doing their job in the backfield for the Panthers.
A loss of 5, 3rd and 15. Maddock puts Cummings Coleman in motion. Rolling out, it's a screen to the other side, complete to Fearing. He has a seam and the sideline. First down and more. Lane Johnson escorts him out.
What did I say?
About 25, but there's some laundry on the field. Right near the 50-yard line on the far side.
Cannot commit these kind of penalties if this is indeed holding against the Cardinals. We'll see. But screen worked. And I wish we'd seen more of those tonight from Coon Rapids, because I think it would have led to a little more offensive success.
A blindside block personal foul goes against Coon Rapids.
So even worse than a holding, as that's a 15-yard penalty. As we take a look at the replay here. Oh, I don't know about that one.
If nothing else, the officials have been consistent with some tough personal foul calls each way, but ultimately it's still 3rd and 15.
Yeah,
Is it a spot foul? It must have been.
Yeah, that makes it even more painful. Marched all the way back to the 35.
3rd and 15. Certainly 2 downs. And a quick screen pass. This time, Lakeville North was ready for it. It was to Waldron. And that's taken down after a gain of 2 or 3.
Yeah, just not much going on. And again, at this point, you may as well go for it. 5 minutes left in your season.
I think you're just saying, Mr. Kai John, run deep, we're throwing it up. He's made a couple spectacular grabs in double or triple coverage.
Give him one more chance. Coon Rapids 2-6 on the season, but I don't think that tells the tale of how competitive this team was, because 4 of those 6 losses were by a touchdown or less.
4th down and 16. And Maddock will do exactly what we just said. It's tossed up, and it's caught by Ogroski. Near the 30-yard line, no flags. And they just heave it up for dear life.
61 yards on the completion. 51 yards, nope, 41 yards on the completion. I'll get there eventually. Nice play, though, by Ogroski to just go get it. Maddock threw it near his two best receivers, and Ogroski just made a play.
Puts Coon Rapids into Lakeville North territory. Ball on the 29. And the Panthers unhappy. That could be grounding. I don't think he got out of the, there was a receiver close. I don't think that's grounding. I couldn't see him initially. He was blocked.
Smart play, though, by Maddock to get rid of the football as Antonio Menard was bearing down on him for hoping to get another sack. Or did they call ground?
I think they were saying
no
there was
ground.
a receiver in the area, no grounding.
I see.
Nonetheless, incomplete, 2nd and 10. Clock stops with 4:03 to go. If they're able to score here, you still have a big uphill climb if you're Coon Rapids, but come up with an onside kick or all 3 timeouts still. Maybe open a sliver. Empty backfield. They'll throw it to Kyjon Cummings Coleman in the flat. He runs out of real estate, and a late flag comes in after the play.
Could be another.
Caleb Peterson.
And you could hear Lane Johnson say he sold that. But no, I think if they do call late hit, that is justified because he was clearly out of bounds. He'd stepped out of bounds there, and then the hit comes. And hopefully that young
Max Moline
gentleman
on the hit.
Yeah, the poor. Yeah, we've had some questionable personal fouls tonight. That one I don't think is one of them. And not a smart penalty. I think Lakeville North came in with a real big chip on their shoulder about Kyjon Cummings Coleman. And yeah, I mean, he's 2 steps out of bounds there, even if the shove was just a shove.
Gives a golden opportunity here for Coon Rapids down to the Panther 11. Adi goes out to the flat. They deny him, and he is just wrestled down by Owens again.
Flung down, I think is what it was.
The 10th tackle for Owens. Came into today with 21 on the season. He has just dominated on the interior.
Yeah, he's lucky he didn't.
I think he had his shoulder.
Yeah.
It was close to a face mask.
Yeah, it was. I mean, the face mask got dislodged, but yeah, he didn't grab the face mask itself, and that was about as easy a sack as he'll pick up. Just
A loss.
blew past the guard.
Loss of 7. It's been a long day in the backfield for Jacob Maddock. He's been sacked 5 times, and that comes out. That'll probably count as 6 as he tries to run away.
And now he's hurt. And he's dealt with a banged up finger. Antonio Menard once again applying the pressure for Lakeville North. And again, it's the same thing every time, Logan. The pocket's just collapsing, and he's forced to step up in the pocket, and sometimes he can't do it quickly enough.
Lakeville North is just winning one-on-one battles.
Everywhere, yep. Everywhere on the front in the trenches.
3rd and 20. And show Menard getting ready to tee off again. Throwing up to the end zone and caught for a touchdown. Kyjon Cummings Coleman. And a late flag comes in.
Is going to be a flag after he tossed the football to the defensive back. So another touchdown, one final touchdown in the stellar career of C-Squared. But clearly frustrated by some of the coverage tonight. But yeah, that's going to be a flag every time.
Well, 28-12, still the count with less than 3 minutes to go, but they'll go for 2 here. Try to make it
He's impacted the game, as he always does. Couple touchdowns, an interception. Some personal fouls. I think that one was just another one.
And they're going to apply it on the extra point.
No. So the longest 2-point conversion we've seen.
28-12. If they could get this, it would be a 2-touchdown and 2 extra point deficit. So 2 scores.
Kaijon Cummings Coleman not in for this one. Maybe cooling off after the personal foul penalty.
And that was a new quarterback in as well. Jackson Hetwer.
Yeah, Jackson
tried to throw that.
That's a nice touch by Nick Russin as he gets Jackson Hetwer, another senior who actually started the year when Jacob Maddock was recovering from an illness. Hetwer was the starting quarterback to begin the year. And so one final pass for his Coon Rapids career. Now, all of this is assuming that Coon Rapids doesn't get the ball back tonight and that Lakeville North will just run out the clock once they get it back. But I kind of like that Kaijon Cummings Coleman's final play of his Coon Rapids career, at least offensively, resulted in a touchdown. There's something poetic about that.
Touchdown and a penalty.
Yeah, he's a spirited player. He plays with a lot of heart, a lot of fire, a lot of emotion, and for better or worse.
Well, he'll play with Carson Hansen, a Lakeville product at Iowa State. Went to Lakeville South.
Very curious to see, actually, if Cummings Coleman is a defensive back in college, which I think he certainly could. 10-play, 60-yard drive there. And or if he's going to be a wide receiver, kick returner type. I think he could play.
I read he was
going
to play defense was the plan.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah, well, he's certainly got the size and the athleticism, the closing speed. He doesn't mind coming up, sticking his nose in, playing the run. So
Jackson Young will try an onside kick. He tried one earlier to start the half to try to catch Lakeville North off guard. It did not go 10 yards. This one does go 10 yards. Takes a bounce right to Ripplinger, who just falls to the turf, and Lakeville North will get the ball. That wasn't Ripplinger. That was 38, not 33. Alex Hall.
Well, yeah, give credit where it's due. The hands team for Lakeville North. He's getting his props on the sideline, but yeah, you have to imagine it'll just be a steady dose of whichever tailback Lakeville North decides to go with.
Ripplinger heading out, and 3 timeouts left.
Will Nick Russin choose to lose him?
16 carries and over 100 yards for Ripplinger.
So 2 backs with over 100 yards tonight for Lakeville North. That kind of tells the tale of this game.
They'll pitch it out to Ripplinger. He'll pick up more. On first down, there's a late flag. Not a late flag, a flag near the line of scrimmage, I should say.
You hope it doesn't end up getting real chippy in these last 2 minutes and 30 seconds because both teams have talked a lot. Both have had personal fouls.
You can see Reese Hunt and Logan Ness patting each other on the shoulder pads, showing some nice sportsmanship. It goes against Lakeville North, so they'll march it back.
Lakeville North, it's a credit to them that they've blocked so well tonight and only been called for 2 holding penalties, considering how much they've run the ball. And the clock continues to roll here on the Cardinals season.
So we'll see if Nick Russin uses those timeouts or just lets the clock tick away.
If Russin stops the Russian.
That's why you're paid the big bucks, Bill.
That's right.
Pitch back to the other side. It's Ripplinger. Just 2 or 3.
Let's give props to Jared Fearing tonight. Harley will tell us how many tackles he's had. 9 tackles for Jared Fearing tonight. The 6'2", 215-pounder. He's been everywhere. He's been targeted a couple times. He's had an excellent job.
And they do call a timeout, so as they take a timeout, we'll take a timeout and be back in 30 seconds.
As you know, CTN's on YouTube, and we're on in a big way. We have thousands of videos online to help you stay connected to Coon Rapids on any device, at home, or on the go. And it's because of your faithful viewership that we can celebrate 10,000 subscribers to the CTN YouTube page. Thank you for your support as we continue to keep you connected.
2nd down and 13 for Lakeville North. Coon Rapids calls a timeout. They have 2 left.
Timeout Lakeville North.
Timeout called by Lakeville North this time. A little bit of a surprise. As they take a timeout, we'll take a timeout and be back right after this.
So Howie, did you know the term soccer actually came from England?
But don't the English call soccer football, like pretty much everyone else?
Yeah, but only after we started saying soccer and the world was mocking us for it.
So you're saying the UK set us up?
Yep, sabotage.
Brits.
And welcome back here to Panther Stadium. Lakeville North trying to run out the clock with a 1st down. They would be in a spot where they could probably start kneeling on it. It's 2nd down and 13 after the penalty a couple plays back. They'll pitch to the outside to Ripplinger. He has a convoy in front, turns the corner. He'll have the 1st down. He does go out of bounds, and that's going to be a out-of-bounds tackle on Fearing. I don't think there was anything malicious about it, just trying to pursue the play and couldn't slow down his momentum, but I do think Ripplinger was out of bounds there. See it right there. Maybe
it was close, but yeah, he did give him a little extra shove into the sidelines.
Ultimately, at this point, I don't think going to make a big difference on the outcome.
Personal foul on the necessary operation of the defense. 15 yards from the end of the line.
I guess the only thing Ripplinger had to fear was Fearing itself.
Pun of the day to Bill Hupp. Special thanks to the awesome crew at CTN. This joint production of CTN and LNPanthers.live. 2 minutes and 7 seconds remain. Still should be 2 timeouts for the Cardinals. It says 3 on the scoreboard. They definitely used 1, I believe. Harley, I am correct on that. And it looks like the ball may have been on the turf there. Coon Rapids pointing like they have it. And over in the Panther bench,
wow,
is, I believe, Adams Totema. And the flags fly immediately.
Yeah, there's been some really chippy extracurriculars off the ball in terms of the defensive backs and everything. When they've been blocking, the wide receivers have been blocking. There's been a lot of pushing and shoving, and Adams Totema, I'm not sure what happened there, but Grossman fumbled the football.
We didn't see who got the. Did they signal who got the recovery before
I don't
they
know.
threw the flag?
Fearing, I thought, jumped on it, unless Ripplinger got it back for Coon Rapids or for Lakeville North rather. But then there was all kinds of distractions.
There are fouls on both teams. Dead ball, personal foul, defense number 1. Dead ball, personal foul, number 77 of the offense. Those penalties will offset. Result of the play is
Kamari Paul also has one, so they'll
North has been disqualified from the
offset.
Now, they say 77 from Lakeville North was disqualified from the game. I believe that's what the ref just said. I mean, I guess at this point it's academic, but unless that affects his availability for next week.
And a timeout called, so as they take a timeout, we'll take one more. We'll be back with the conclusion of this unique contest after this.
Watching your favorite Cardinal sports live is getting even easier. Whether it's CTN Cable Channel 859, the CTN Facebook and YouTube pages, or now live on our Twitter page. You choose how you want to watch Cardinal Nation. With CTN, you'll be able to catch all the big plays, all the emotion, and all the fun of Coon Rapids sports. CTN Coon Rapids, stay connected.
And welcome back. 2 minutes and 1 second left in this one. Lakeville North ahead 28-12, trying to run out the clock. It's getting chippy down the stretch.
Yeah, and you just hope that they can just end it with no more hostilities, given that the result is all but in hand.
And they'll hand it off to Ripplinger. They said that either there wasn't a fumble or it was recovered.
And here's what led to the scuffle. As you see over on the sidelines, a couple players got into it, and then, yeah. But then 77 is right there.
I think they just saw some people falling down, and that's...
Or they heard him. And right there, as you see, Grossman falls back on top. Fearing tries to wrestle it away from him, but Grossman had it. Ripplinger in there as well. One more
timeout called. We'll take one more break. We'll be back after this. Now we'll be through all of them at least.
Howie, do you know why fish are so bad at volleyball? Because they're afraid of the net.
Why me?
Why couldn't the volleyball player cross the road? There were too many bumps. Why was Cinderella kicked off the team? Because she ran away from the ball.
I hate you.
And welcome back. As a couple scores, Eden Prairie beat Osseo 41-12. That's on the other side of our bracket here, which we'll show you briefly on our screen. We know that Forest Lake beat Wyzetta. So the only question, the Egan and White Bear Lake in this side of the bracket. Ripplinger, another carry, takes it 5 yards down to the 20, maybe down to the 19.
Still running the clock, even though I believe he was shoved out of play.
And fourth down and short for Lakeville North to really kind of put this one away.
Yeah, and I don't know. I think Lakeville North came in keenly aware of the threat of Kaijan Cummins-Coleman, and I think they were jazzed up to try to play a player of his caliber and try to shut him down. You know, in a game that they were clearly favored in to begin with. But he made plays, even though Coon Rapids is going to come up on the short end of this stick.
The pitch back, looking for one more first down, breaks a tackle to get it by one. Looked like
Ripplinger, the carrier.
they had a chance to get him in the backfield with LeClaire, broke the tackle, and we'll see a couple kneel downs here. As you said, that may have been Fearing.
Yeah, Fearing had him dead to rights in the backfield, and he just broke his tackle. Now, Fearing's played the entire game. It's cold out there, and so you just wonder if the grip is not as strong, but that was a heck of a play by, wow.
300 yards on the ground tonight for Lakeville North. We'll have our Jill Henning State Farm post-game show after this.
Victory formation now as Kaijan Cummins-Coleman sees his illustrious career come to an end.
And Grossman takes a knee, and that will do it. Lakeville North will advance to the section final, one game away from going back to state for the first time since 2019. And we'll take our final break. We'll be back after this here on LNPanthers.live and CTN.
Want to know the who, what, when, and where of Coon Rapids? Then follow CTN on social media. It's that simple. Whether it's Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, keep up with local news, sports, and events. And the people who make our community such a great place to live. So give us a follow, like, share, or subscribe, and always be the first to know what's up in Coon Rapids. That's CTN, helping you stay connected.
Time to award our BTD Manufacturing Hardworking Player of the Game for Lakeville North, and I think we are going to give it to the entire defensive front for Lakeville North. They, led by Antonio Menard, were constantly in the backfield. 6 sacks on the night for the Panthers, and they were in the backfield making things difficult for Jacob Maddock and company from the beginning. And our Lakeview Bank money moment of the game is going to be, we'll say, what do you think the money moment of the game is, Bill? Probably that first Sawyer Wilkie touchdown for the Panthers. Put them on the board, and they never looked back.
Yep, 100%. And it was a nice touchdown run as well. A little pitch to the outside. He did the rest, juked a couple guys, broke a few tackles. It was nice. And it got Lakeville North back on top for the first time, and they never relinquished that lead. After that, led by as many as 28 to 6 at one point, and they really just cruised from there. First quarter, little shaky. Coon Rapids came out, punched them in the mouth, but the Panthers eventually would assert themselves. 50 carries and over 300 yards of rushing on the ground tonight. Clearly, they won the game in the trenches, both defensively and offensively, and they were the well-deserved victors tonight, and it sets up an interesting matchup next week when they host Forest Lake, who were 31-7 winners tonight over Wayzata.
Final stats, 29 carries for 166 yards, 2 touchdowns for Sawyer Wilkie, and 21 for 132 and 2 touchdowns for Sam Ripplinger. Leading the way for Coon Rapids, Kyjon Cummings Coleman with 8 receptions for 90 yards, 2 touchdowns and a pick. He did his part, but it wasn't enough. Lakeville North moves on, advances their record to 8-1 on the year, and Coon Rapids will finish 2-7. And that will do it for our broadcast, as we will play one more break and we'll sign off after this. Not even really, no. Just run this and then I will go off as soon as it's done. Actually, keep it on the field and I'll do the quick sign off and thank everybody. That's stupid. I don't know what I'm thinking. We've just been here a long time.
Well...